Alright. Look at this for a setup. Oh, let me just put the mic. Look at this. Welcome back to episode 2 of, I'm going to say, the Scottish Bad Takes podcast, because Adam informed me there's another channel called the Bad Takes podcast.
You're not telling me somebody's already taken your name down after a week.
They've only got 35 subscribers, so we'll
Overtake that.
We'll overtake that.
Overtake that in no time.
But aye, man. Big shout out to the G4 Claims studio.
Some gaff they've got in this place.
Aye, man.
Some setup.
I feel like I'll be Wayne, you know, on Christmas. You get your new toys and that. That's what I feel.
It just, the place actually oozes class, man. It's genuinely minted.
Yeah, we've got, you know, professional mics, the wee arms and that to hold it. We've got the headphones. There's a wee soundboard there.
Definitely beats the Zoom call, like.
Oh, God, no.
Duncan Wee's wee footy.
Oh, I had to add that in just so people had an idea who he was.
Aye, just sit looking at a wee black screen that just says Duncan Kelly on it.
Or get the phone, that's my dad.
For sake, lad. I'm not got time to talk that.
I'll need to explain to him what I'm doing.
Aye.
But I'm just buzzing, man.
Aye, it's a class setup they've got in this joint, like.
Yeah. And as you'll notice, it's just me and Fraz this week, because a few of the boys couldn't make it, because Duncan's working too late, Lewis is ill, Adam's working late as well, but
Passing up in time with the boys, what's that all about?
Mate, they'll see this and they'll be begging to come here, lads, man.
We want these in there. What's going on?
But aye, so that's why it's pretty much a broadcast today.
We broadcast for the night, lads.
It's just we'll try our best to not be too biased, but I'll try my best.
Aye.
But that's why repping I've got the retro top and mate Fraser. This is top of the day, man.
Following at the stops with the new Legends game top.
You got that today, didn't you?
I got it today. Came for in the post today. Wasn't too keen on my postage right enough. The package was a wee bit damaged, but the top's in full fit order, so I'm happy with it.
Saw the store and they started rumpling it up, man.
I know, yeah. I mean, that's just what they like, yeah. It's just what they like.
It's long, like smashing, mate.
It's a cracking top, like I'm fair enjoying it.
I mean, honestly, I do like the home top this year, but I wouldn't mind that if they just used that top, to be honest.
Honestly, if they were to turn around and tell me that this was going to be the home top for next season, I would happily take that.
As you were saying as well, like, see the collars on football tops.
I just think collars look stunning. Just on a football top, it's just different. Elegance.
It's just class, and that's why I've brought this on, because I don't have the new purple top, because I was a wee bit iffy after the Malmo game back at the start of the season.
I've always said we should never change our home top when we play games.
I don't want to remember that in, but I thought I'd wear this because what a performance yesterday by the boys, and see how fitting it is that number 2. I want to talk about one man who wears number 2, Captain James Tavernier, man.
What can you say about James Tavernier?
Mate, he's going to be the top goal scorer in Europa League.
I mean, he scored something like 12 goals this season already. Last year was his best campaign with 19.
He could. I don't know if he'll break it.
I don't know if he'll quite break it, but I mean, going the way he's gone.
My right back, man. But mate, it's not just penalties. Like, he scored like good goals outfield, man.
And you look at that free kick that he scored last year against Dundee United. Done it.
Mate, his goal against St Johnstone at the start of the season to win us the game.
It's just, for me, it's the position he gets himself into the box. I mean, how many times did you see it last year when you had Barisic crossing for the left and it was Tav coming in at the back post? Man. To me, I think he's got the natural instinct to get himself into the attacking areas.
That's why, because when Gio first came in, he wasn't really letting Tav do it much, but I think now that he's realising Tav, that's what helps us win games.
I think the thing is as well is the person that plays in front of Tav has never been certain of who's going to be playing in front of him, whereas Gio's kind of getting his team set now with his 11, so Tav knows who's going to be playing with him, so he's getting a wee bit of chemistry.
I thought him and Ramsey linked up really well yesterday, man.
Looked good. I mean, it was the two of them linking up that got you that penalty.
And Ramsey only scored earlier before that as well, but just a great performance. I didn't really mean to touch on that game right away, but just the most recent.
We've started the night. It's a broadcast for the night. What else are we meant to talk about by the boys in blue?
I know. But I know, it was brilliant, and finally we're back at Hampden for the Scottish Cup after 3 years.
Mate, for the last 3 years, getting to that stage, and then the way we went out last year, fair play to St Johnstone, right? They played right to the end of the game.
I still see Sander Clark in my nightmares, man.
Everybody always goes on about who should be the next number 1 for Rangers. let's sign Xander Clark because he's playing well in Scottish football. But
they're not really playing that well now.
But for me, I didn't see him being a Rangers number one. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
maybe a number two, but I don't think he's that much better than John McLaughlin, to be honest. Like,
for the games, I mean, you looked at McLaughlin last year at the start of the season. He kept, what was it? How many clean sheets in a row?
13 clean sheets or something. Like,
13 clean sheets. I mean, the game against Hibs where he first conceded a goal, the first goal gone through his legs and that, it was a...
But that was after we broke the record, so it doesn't matter.
We didn't worry about that anyway.
But I know, it was a really good performance. Like, you always knew it was going to be a wee bit tough, but I thought just outplayed them in that and dealt with any threat we had.
Getting the early goal helped,
big. I thought it was in Helander, but I don't know. But just good. Just make sure it goes in the back of the net, and then that's it.
Better putting the ball in the back of the net. I've always said that it doesn't matter how it goes in. You could come off somebody's toe. After Heeden go in,
arse, man.
You could hit the ball from anywhere and it could come off somebody's big toe and bounce in.
When Scotland beat Israel, Scott McTominay, he scored it off his cock, mate.
he was the baller, was he? I mean, the ball was in the back of the net.
I was the baller, man.
Boy could have the biggest cock in the park and nobody's ball. You know what I mean? Just fucking swinging that about, putting the ball in the back of the net, nobody's ball.
How many minutes that in? Like 5, we're already talking about cocks.
Standard.
That's what happens when you just get left.
Standard fellas, big man.
Oh, but good for Rangers. And here, by the way, did you see the Motherwell Hibs game?
3 minutes in,
Wait,
got himself
not even 55 seconds in.
Was it 55? I was checking it, after the game had finished. Man, it came
said,
up in my
it said 2 minutes or something like on Sky Sports, but then I looked at the highlights, 55 seconds.
I mean, to be honest, the challenge was a bit...
I know, but it's like... It's one of those ones, it's like, do you give him a sending off? Because he didn't. I don't think he really touched him. But see, it was like
he
that.
Went in with the 2 feet.
It was like that Porteous challenge on Aribo earlier on this season. So it's like
studs up, and this year was studs up with 2.
Dangerous.
2 feet. I mean, that's extremely dangerous. You can't do that.
And you can see, you'd be like, oh, well, it's only that's that like quickening at the game. But at the same time, it's like
doesn't matter what stage of the game it is. It could be in the first minute, the 90th minute, whatever. If you go in with a tackle like that and it's dangerous, you're running the risk of getting yourself sent
from then on, it just wasn't going to be Motherwell's day, was it? Like,
nah. Hibs, to me, I've never seen Hibs as being a great side. Like, I ken they beat us earlier on in the season. It was under unfortunate circumstances from our point of view, with having lost our manager. But they did outplay us that game. I'll hold my hands up and say they were the better team that day. They were the better team that day. But I've never seen them as being a great football side that I would expect them to.
They've always kind
of really well.
They get they started the season really well. Them and Hearts were at the top of the league, undefeated, and then as soon as I think it was us that beat them, and they just went downhill, man.
So it's just one of the things, eh? I mean, some teams have purple patches where they're not playing great. Other teams, can be. I mean, you look at Celtic for the turn of the year; they haven't lost a game in the league.
I
mean, they're playing spectacular, and at this moment in time, you probably wouldn't see anybody beating them. I ken they're dropping points. But you didn't see anybody actually taking 3 points off them.
I think that's why it's probably going to be down to us to kind of try to take something from. But that's another topic. But it was. I mean, fair play to Hibs. Who was the guy that scored again? I think it was a new signing. It was his debut. He scored the 2 goals to win it for them. Yeah.
I didn't really pay much attention to the game. I seen the sending off, but I didn't really see much.
I was watching a wee bit before the Rangers game. It was an alright game. This is a mouthful. Sorry, Hibs fans, if I butcher this guy's name. Elias Hoff Melkerson. I think I actually pronounced that pretty well.
That's
aye.
You gave that a good crack, big man.
There was what a first half, man. 3 goals and a sending off. But then Hibs just kind of held off because Motherwell in the second half they were pressing high and they had to go for it. But and here, did you see the Hearts St Mirren highlights, man? Did you see the goal?
I didn't see anything of that game bar the second St Mirren goal. And
they're screaming.
See it first. See when I first seen it and I seen the replay. I thought the boy actually mishit it, but then I seen it for the other angle. And oh my god,
Connor Ronan. He scored a 93rd minute winner for St Mirren during the week.
I tell you what, that boy could take a bow because that is some finish. Yeah. To be able to get the technique on that, to get that into the far corner and away for Gordon for that angle.
Because his touch kind of took him away from it. And I thought he was going for like a cross, but then he caught it so sweet. I don't think he could have hit it any better.
See, in all fairness, more players need to do that these days.
Just hit it.
Ken, how many times have you seen the ball open up for somebody and you've got fans in the stand screaming shoot or hit a ball or whatever,
they're trying to just walk it in.
Aye, they just try and
we've seen that too many times.
Yeah, I reckon how many times I've been sitting in the stand at Ibrox screaming hit the ball.
But it was what that hit, man. That brought it back to each, but then Hearts, fair play to them. Like, oh, mate, I need to talk. Like, see Barry Mackay. I think he's been their best player. He's no scored, but he's got assists in that. But like, see me watching, man. Like, it's frightening on the ball.
Aye, the way he plays, man. He draws players out of position, and that allows their strikers to either get in behind or the midfielders to make the runs in.
Because he's playing on the wing, but then sometimes he plays like a 10.
Aye,
he'll drift in and that.
Inside
like,
and that.
It reminds me of like he's kind of playing like Kent. What Kent was last year, if you know what I mean. Like, when he first came into the Premiership with Rangers, he didn't. I think maybe it was a wee bit of a shock for him because he done so well in the Championship. I just don't think he was up to pace, but obviously going down south and that, and like it's helped him.
I think the thing about him was when he was at Rangers at first, he was still a really young laddie.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And he didn't have a big physique on him. He was really skinny, and you know he got bullied off the ball quite a lot. Whereas in the Championship, maybe he was coming up against like a lesser quality player, so he was able to get by them quite easily. You're not going to get by the boys in the Premiership quite as easily as that.
He seems to have bulked up, and he seems a lot faster as well. I don't remember him being that fast.
See, in all fairness, he had scary speed when he was at Rangers, but I think it's just these players as they get older get more aware.
And he's adapting that to the game.
He's more aware of where he makes these runs and when to make the runs, which is allowing him to be the better player that he is now compared to what he was when he first came into the Premiership.
Fair play. I saw a few people say they'd maybe take him back at Rangers. I don't know.
Nah, to me, I think that's a step too far.
I think he's a good level at Hearts and that, and I think Hearts, if they finish third, they'll be in Europe next season. Like they'll be at least
they'll be in the qualifier.
They've got guaranteed at least Conference League group stage football, because whoever wins the Scottish Cup, obviously if it's Rangers or Celtic, they'll just go to the third, and they'll get the Europa League playoffs. And obviously if you lose that, you go into the Conference League playoffs. So there'll be 3 Scottish teams.
I mean, last time Hearts were in Europe, went down to Anfield and got themselves a 1-0 win.
No, it was a
1-0?
It was a draw.
Was it a 1-each draw? What was it? David Templeton or something?
And then he went to Rangers in the third division.
I know. The next day. That was quite a scary move. To go for that to that.
Mental. Those are dark times. I don't want to talk about those times. But fair play to Hearts, and it's Rangers, Hibs, and Hearts, and obviously the night as we're recording. The Celtic game's no kicked off yet. I think 5 minutes or something.
We've got 5 minutes until that kicks off.
We said we think Celtic will probably. I think it'll be I don't think it'll be that easy. I said 2-1.
I think it's going to be a tough game for them. Depending on what way Dundee United set up. You know, if they go out and they
do what they've done against us, just every man fight for set pieces. Every man in the box, filling their bodies. On
to be honest, set pieces is probably going to be the main way that they're going to score. Which is, you obviously seen that against Rangers. That was the main way that they managed to get on the end of things.
Is Charlie Mulgrew still injured or something? Because I think he's been a big miss for them.
I don't know if he's still injured, but
Tony Watt's been a good signing for them.
He's a big presence in the club, I think, Mulgrew.
I mean, experience in that. And
you seen what he done at Celtic. He won numerous trophies there, and then he went down south again.
Good for Scotland at times as well.
He's played well. He's you
need to give him respect. Now he's a quality player.
He is a quality player, and he knows how to play the big occasions.
Exactly. You've seen it. Well, the first game against Dundee United, he was like man of the match, and then even the game at Ibrox, we managed to win. He was still like him and Morelos were having good battles, but if he's in the team, he'll give him a good boost. Same with Tony Watt.
I mean, what was like one of the top scorers before he went there.
I think he still is. He did score. He scored his first goal against Motherwell for them. Funny enough. But so it'll be interesting. But I think it will be Celtic, and then we'll find out after what the semi-final draw is going to be.
I mean,
could potentially be an Old Firm semi.
A lot of folk are all going, would you rather play Celtic in the final? And at
the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
See, at the end of the day, as a Rangers fan, no, I wouldn't. No, because I think they would beat us, but simply on the fact that you want the easiest game possible, don't you? You go into that final, you want the easiest game that you can get. And for me, I would take either of the other two teams over Celtic.
Well, obviously the last time we played Hibs in the semi-final, but I think it'll be a different outcome now. But I don't know. I'm not too bothered. Like, obviously, it would be a big grand finale Scottish Cup. When was the last time there was a Scottish Cup final between Rangers and Celtic?
Couldn't even tell you, to be honest. I mean,
was it not 2000? But the Loving-Crans winner, was it that? No, surely no. There's surely been another one.
There's been another one since then.
It was the League Cup final. And Rangers haven't been in the final since 2016 against Hibs.
Bad times.
And even
bad times. We didn't want to talk about that.
And even before that, the last time we were in the final was when we won it in 2009. It's a shocking stat, man. We need to win. Obviously, I'd like the league, but like I'd like us to win the Scottish Cup, man. Like,
I think domestically at the moment, a cup is a need. Like, it's a must. You know, I mean, you've been to the League Cup final numerous occasions.
Should have won the league. Well, no, that was the first League Cup final we were at since we won it in 2011. We should have won. I'm still raging at that game.
It's one of the things that you've just got to get over that hurdle now. The mental hurdle. The fact that this is the first time you've reached this stage of the competition for 4 years.
And if we get to the final, obviously, try and finally win it. And I think, well, obviously, winning the league, that was good to get the first major trophy that way. But I think maybe the cups are a wee bit different. But I think as soon as you win one, I think it'll be not a breeze, but like start that.
It'll click that mentality in the players' head that we can win these trophies.
I know.
You know what I mean? We're not going to fall at this hurdle every time. We can get past this stage. It'll allow these players to believe in themselves again.
I know, because they got a taste for it last year with the league, but I'm sure they'll be wanting can't even speak cups. I couldn't think of it.
They'll be wanting to add more silverware to their cabinet as well.
But obviously we lost the League Cup, but there's still a potential treble on the horizon, mate. Let's talk about Thursday night. This is what, mate, me and you were there.
Aye,
what
that was
a game, man.
See, in all fairness, I thought Red Star were they did look a decent side.
Man. Mate, they scored 3 goals that were offside, but they were. I don't think anyone can really dispute.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the highlights back on the Friday, and you couldn't look at them and turn around and say that there were 3 perfectly good goals chopped off, because they were all offside. And the only one that the boy really made a case for, that he was annoyed when the flag went up, was the second gen. Obviously, when McGregor fumbled it, and the boy taps it in.
The boy that was offside, he could have had a hat-trick, because he scored 2 offside goals and missed a penalty. I'm sure he's a top goal scorer and all that. Katai or something?
Katai, I think. What was his stat of the commentator?
Was it 20 goals
23 goals or something this season.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a good return.
Even see the first goal. Maybe we were like, what a finish. Like, he curled at top ends and that.
In all fairness, if I could do that, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Me and you both, mate. But no, that first 25 minutes was mental. What is it? 2 offside goals. We got a penalty. They got a penalty. Oh, it was. I lost my mind. I couldn't speak.
No, my voice on the Friday was gone. I'm just screaming and shouting at that game. It was unbelievable.
I know. Brilliant. So that gave us a good lead, but obviously you can't be like, oh, that's the tie done, because you've seen comebacks in Europe before.
I mean, a tie's never done.
Especially
it doesn't matter what score it is. I mean, the best one to then take an example for that is PSG Barcelona.
Or Liverpool Barca as well.
Exactly. I mean, PSG were 4-0 up in that tie.
And they scored and they managed to score as well.
Gone to the new camp. I mean, it's all about the belief in the players. If the players believe themselves that they can win that game.
On the other side, the team that's in front be like, maybe take the foot off the gas. You're like, we don't need it, bro. We're ahead.
We've won this game.
Even if we concede a goal, we're all right. But we need to just play the exact same way. For me, I think if we get another early goal, 4-0, I can't really see them.
Nah, I can't see them scoring 5 goals against us. I mean, I seen a couple of other fans talking about it after, and they were going, I reckon we can score, but I don't reckon we're good enough to hold out Rangers for 90 minutes as well. Their fans themselves reckon that even if they can score goals, they're going to concede goals too, the way that we're playing.
They're going to have to, because they're going to have to go for it, and that means they're going to be left open in that, and if we can capitalise, and I'm expecting them they're just going to be like, well, they've got nothing to lose at this point, so they might as well just go for it, So I think it'll be a good game. It'll be tough. Well, there would be some atmosphere over in Belgrade, man.
I mean, it's not. I've heard a lot of people telling me that they were there the last time that we played in Belgrade.
2007.
And they all said that it's some atmosphere, however, it is a scary place to go to.
All the armed guards in that, they got the rubber bullets and stuff.
They had to have a police escort to the ground and stuff like that for the pubs and everything. I mean,
I don't think it's as bad as what it used to be, but I don't know.
I mean, with everything going on in the world now, you never know what's going to happen.
especially because Serbia's kind of around those parts of Ukraine and that, so
it's one of them ones where you don't know quite what's going to go down.
So fair play to all the bears that are travelling over there. Hopefully they're safe and sound.
I know. Hopefully everybody that goes there gets a safe trip there and a safe trip back, and no problems occur through it.
Right, I'm gonna try and do a wee phone in here. I'm gonna try and get Lewis, but
see what Lewis's thoughts on the topic are, because he never made the game on Thursday night, did he?
Still ill, and that's why he's not here today. So I'm gonna attempt this. So bear with me. I might need to edit if he says something outrageous.
Might be a bit dodgy. We never know what this man's going to say.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service.
Oh, you've just been packed right after that.
Because I'll try one more time, and if it doesn't, I'll just leave it. It's 2 rings.
It's not looking promising.
This is the Vodafone voicemail.
He missed his chance.
Man's probably in a jug. You've just interrupted him. Get what I mean? Your name's popping up on the screen and he's trying to fucking rip the heat off it.
Hello?
Hi there. Who's calling that? I've got a missed call from you.
It's Jono. Have you not got me saved?
Oh, no, I haven't got you saved.
Oh, wow, that's hot.
Oh, the disrespect for the man right there.
Because we wanted to get your take, because I said to you, and I know you're ill, so I don't want to take too much of your time, but we wanted to hear your perspective because you couldn't be here tonight. We're recording right now, mate. Say hello to the podcast.
How we doing? Live and direct.
Mate, we've got everything set up, so you're playing through our headphones and through the recording and that, and we are talking to you through our mics and that, so it's all professional.
Oh, sound. Right, so what we talking about?
Right, I've kind of covered the weekend games and that, but like, we obviously don't need to talk about all the other teams. Were, as me and Fraz were saying, it's pretty much a broadcast tonight because nobody else is here.
You got a broadcast?
we got a broadcast on the go.
But we're just talking about Rangers Dundee, but we were just having like a really in-depth conversation about the Red Star game, mate. And we'd like to hear your take on either or. It's up to you.
Might as well start the Red Star game.
That's the most talking point.
2 seconds. Just jumping out of my room.
It's all good.
I think, again, Ryan Kent, 3 penalties for 3 games in Europe, just doing that same thing. It's that he just runs, he'll just make a beeline straight for a defender and then just take a cut in, and it's forever dragging. It's dragging players into a position where they're either going to have to let them by or at least put a last ditch effort in to put their foot in, and it's paying off every single time he does it. Every single time. It's
drawing like defenders into like getting double teamed or even triple teamed, and like because that's frightened of what he's going to do, and then it just leaves as you're saying, so much gaps, and they can just throw the ball in.
But again, and then Tavernier's penalty was hit the heart. You're never saving that penalty.
Nah.
You're never saving that penalty like that.
It doesn't matter what keeper in the world tries to get to that. You're never going to get a hand on that whatsoever.
Sure. He's got some balls to try that, man. I would just hit it in the middle.
See when I watched it back and I seen the slip, I thought,
I didn't realise he slipped.
if he slips any more, that probably doesn't go in.
That's going rose in.
No, I know. I mean, when he had it, I thought it was going over the bar and showed him. My mum and dad said that, and I thought it went cleaner, but
right in the
no, it was a penalty, and to go up early against them was a bit of a dream. And then when the second goal came, Morelos is just doing his usual. He's in the right place at the right time, and it's a good finish.
Whoever that was at the back post that scored.
Aye. Sorry, and the third goal, free Balogun, man. I don't know why there was such a delay in using him.
I don't know.
With Van Bronckhorst.
I don't know if
keep playing Barisic on the left and put Bassey in the centre half. Okay, Bassey done well to adjust, but Barisic just wasn't playing well. Bassey can play the both positions, so why not just put him naturally at left back and then just use Balogun at centre half? And look what happens. You've got two tall guys, and I mean, Golson should have finished a header in the 93rd, 94th, but
it feels good to actually have like somebody who can score for the corners.
How many corners have we had this year? And there's been like
Golson either hits it straight at the keeper or over the bar.
Aye, honestly.
But he scored yesterday, so good on him.
He did.
That wasn't quite a header though,
To take 3-0 off a team that's lost one in how many games? Was it 13?
They're on some run, man.
1 in 13. That's a hard team, and even though there's a 3-goal cushion there, I'm still no sold on the fact that we'll go to America and school them or nothing. You know what I mean? That's Heritage Park, and
like,
they'll make that comfortable for us. No, at all. I mean, they topped their group. They had Braga, Midtjylland, and
Ludogorets. How you?
Ludogorets. I was going to say Ludogorets, but they're a good side, and
they didn't look that bad on Thursday. Like,
in all fairness, I thought they were a more defensive side, for what I'd seen of them.
Played some tidy football.
They actually, to me, I thought they looked a better team going forward.
Aye, that Katai, he was making it.
He could have scored a hat-trick.
Aye, and also I know Katai, that Ivanic, and all they were. Well, look, I don't know. Was it luck that they were offside, or were we playing an offside trap?
Dav mentioned it at the end of the game.
And it felt like it was happened too many times for it to not be part of the game.
Well, Dav kind of touched on that at the end of the game, like in his press kind of conference thing, and he said that the new like step 'em up would kind of catch them off. So I think it's maybe something that Gio's worked on throughout the week, looking back at their games, saying that they like to play on the shoulder of the defenders, and maybe like when they try and play that long ball, such as like what we play with Kent and Goldson and that, can step up and try and catch them off, because VAR's there. If you do step up and the linesman doesn't catch it, VAR will catch it.
The linesman did catch it both times. Somebody said somebody said might have been me, to be fair. I swear I saw that linesman in the Loudon.
And then to get the penalty and then for it to be saved, I mean, he's really taken quite a big brunt of abuse this season, McGregor. A lot of questions. I mean, I was starting to think he's starting to teeter now, he's starting to go, and then, I mean, and he had a great game. To save a penalty and then to keep us in it a good couple of times anyway, he made a good...
there was a...
Sure, to keep us in it, and I don't know what it is with him. It's obviously been a thing for when he's been a keeper as a boy, but he just gives me the fear because he never ever dares to come off the line. I don't know if it's an intimidation thing. I don't know.
You see them in the warm up and they practice the crosses in and all that, and it's like him coming to catch it and everything.
He's very cautious.
Why do you even practice that? Because you didn't do it in a game.
No, he never does it in a game. He never comes outside his 6-yard box. I don't even think he's got to the edge of his 6-yard box.
No.
Swung in.
Somebody, all the Celtic fans were moaning that he was off his line, and somebody said it's McGregor we're talking, but he's not came off his line since last March.
Aye, with that one.
In all fairness, when watching it in the stadium, I thought it came off his line. And I thought the penalty was going to get retaken.
The new rule, you only need to have 1 foot on the line now. I
watched it back on the Friday and watched the highlights and seen that he's left foot, but in all fairness, it wasn't much on the line.
That was some save, man. Like,
he was like, he's only just done it, and I was like, fucking only, like, it was a ball here.
I seen a boy commenting on it, and it was somebody had put it on TikTok, the video of him obviously saving the penalty, and it must have been a Celtic fan or something, because he had like a Celtic emblem as his profile photo, and
that would make sense.
It would make sense, wouldn't it? It would. But he turned around and went, "Oh, he's a mile off his line," and somebody went, "I'm not quite sure about that." He went, "Well, half a mile then."
Aye. Oh, it scared me for a second, and then they were like, "Nah, it's all right." So
that first 25 minutes was mental, man.
It was brutal. It was chaos, and then it kind of calmed down. And then once we scored the third, I thought,
mate,
this
see
game's got more in it.
I can't remember the boy's name, but number 8, mind the shot he hit.
Oh,
for 30
yeah.
The boy sitting next to me turned around and says, "I think McGregor got a finger on that." I don't think he did, pal.
That ball moved like a hurricane, man. That was going over the joint.
And if we were lucky, nobody was there to catch it in the rebound either. It kind of.
It took an
I think it caught
bounce,
off the guard. Was that Kanga? Was it Kanga?
Kanga, that's his name. That's
that was a bullet. I mean,
apparently, he's known for long shots, so like, it wasn't really much of a surprise to the Red Star fans.
But it was funny, but because I didn't, obviously I didn't look in the chat, but I've jumped onto YouTube to see what folk were saying and all that, and then I jumped into that Falcons video and that Vood was there, and then I went into the chat to say it, but you put it in, Jono. And but I mean, even they were like that. Fucking, like, how do you deal with that? Like, how? I mean, other grounds may cost the atmospheres, but I think it's for any team that's left now in the Europa League, permitting me come away Thursday night into the next round. I think any team that we draw is going to be like, fuck's sake, going to Ibrox is going to be a task. I don't think anybody's going to want to come to Ibrox. It's because of how we are a 12th man now. And
it's definitely. As Hadji said 2 years ago, Ibrox, baby, it's just different.
I know that's the first thing I thought about the Braga game. I just think teams can't afford to overlook us, but I think they naturally do because it's
Scotland.
The Scottish League, it's the Scottish League, and it is overlooked.
A smaller club, isn't it? You know what I mean? I mean, you look at some of the teams that are still left in it. You got Sevilla, who's won. They've won this trophy the most amount of times. You know what I mean? You've got Barcelona, who's dropped down for the Champions League.
Still, they've turned a kind of corner since January. Like the new signings and that came in, they've kind of got playing again.
You've still got Leverkusen, Atalanta,
Porto,
Leon.
You know, there's a lot of big teams still in this tournament.
Name up. Well, but at the same time, no, as Lewis said, like no many teams will want to face us. I don't really think.
No.
It depends on what kind of draw you get. You know, whether or not the next, like the first leg's going to be away or if it's going to be at home as well. You know, that's going to be one of the toughest.
I think
points as well.
I don't actually know. I think it just depends on the draw at this point.
I don't think
there's no any more seeded or that teams.
No, it's just everybody gets put in the hat at this point.
Yeah. Aye, that's it. No team's an easy draw now, and I think we got. Probably Porto Leon was the hardest tie to pick between maybe Leverkusen and Atlanta, but I mean, most people thought they were either going to edge it, maybe draw it, or maybe just get beat. Nobody truly thought we were going to go out there and knock 3 past them and look good doing it. It wasn't even like we were lucky. We played good football. I didn't think that they could have scored more. Exactly. And Morelos is only boosting his stock with every single game.
Mate,
every game.
First shoulder tackle, he actually setting that boy in the Clyde, man.
Aye, was it Dragovic or something? He came on, he says, the first challenge the boy put in me, he knocked me back 5 feet. I was like, who the fuck? And it must be a shock that this boy just comes out of nowhere and he looks good all the time. Same with Kent. I mean, I think it's going to be hard to keep a lot of your assets.
I could see a lot going this summer, to be honest.
The thing is as well, though, even if you sell players, you know, you look at some of the players that we've brought in recently as well.
The future and that.
You know what I mean? Whatever money you make on them, I think you could probably bring somebody in to replace them.
Aye, but else was only £1 million.
That's mental.
I mean, the bit of business that they're going to get for that.
I know. The times amount's obviously going to look amazing because fucking, like I said, it's only £1 million. I mean, we were offered 10 million for Porto for him, I wouldn't let him go for 10 million.
No,
I wouldn't let him go either.
I mean, he's 9 goals off of being the top Europa League goal scorer at all time.
Behind Larsson.
You didn't sell a player like that for 10 million.
And he's only, what?
No. 25.
And he's also only 3 rounds from winning the thing, so I mean,
He's not even in his prime. He's not even in his prime yet.
Just needs 3 hat-tricks, that's him sound.
If he goes, he better go to a good club. I don't want him leaving Rangers to go to a club.
I think in all fairness, right, everybody always goes, if he wants to make it in his career, he's got to go to the Premier League down south. But I don't think so. To me, I think the best leagues that would suit him would probably either be Italy or Spain.
I think Germany.
Germany. I thought Germany. I always thought Germany. I'd like to see him on a German side. But
I just think with the way the Italian game and the way the Spanish game's played, I think it would suit him down to a T.
I think he'd ever people run for his money any league. To be fair to him, people underestimate him every time, man. Even Rangers fans sometimes, but then he just plays. It's just no one can deal with him, man. He's basically retired Matt Hummels.
He did. Him, Jan, fucking. I mean, it was brilliant. It was brilliant, Hummels. I mean, Hummels is a World Cup winner, and he fucking didn't know how to deal with him. He was looking at him like, how do you deal with this guy? Okay, he's maybe know his prime right, and absolutely, I'll succeed to that, but
still,
he's experienced enough to deal with a 25-year-old.
A couple of seasons ago, he beat Pepe and all at Porto.
I know.
As well.
I know.
I mean, the thing is,
it's funny.
I was thinking about that. He's got that many different ways of playing his game that you don't know how he's going to play in a game. You know, he can bully you. He's also quite quick. For the stature he's got.
Maybe he's lost weight.
For the stature he's got, he is quite quick. So
he didn't go for the steak pies at Christmas. He worked it.
No.
Getting on back for Colombia duty and he's running around a car park.
I think he's actually been raging that he didn't play for Colombia and he's just came back a different monster.
Beastie that got himself some highlights in his head.
I know. I thought he was probably going to start being a starting striker, but he's no. I don't think he's really got a game yet, has he?
Nah, he's not really made it into the Colombia squad at all yet. But
no.
To me, I can't understand that because in their World Cup qualifiers, they're no scoring.
No.
You know what I mean? They're no scoring. They're actually struggling. They're on the verge of no qualifying for the World Cup.
Either 4th or 5th or something. I don't know. They're fucking in the CONMEBOL, weren't they?
I don't know. I thought the boy was at the door the first night.
So if somebody was come and join us in the room.
No, sorry. No, to take 3-0 after them was a dream result, and nobody's going to turn their nose up at it anyway. And so hopefully a big result. I do think we'll maybe lose this one. It'll maybe be 2-1 to them. But as long as we get the goal, I think.
If we get a goal,
as long as we get a goal.
I just think you need to be defensively solid going out here. You know what I mean? We can't afford any silly mistakes for the back.
Aye. Shake off the noise. You can't let the noise get to you because they're a rowdy bunch, man. They're going to make it uncomfortable. But fucking Rangers have went places and it's been uncomfortable.
Went there before.
They've kept it all right.
Before, done it.
Aye. So, yesterday's game, cakewalk. It's just you said this, innit? I mean, there's not much to touch on. I mean, apart from the obvious fucking the blatant comparison of officiating between Europe and the SPL. I mean,
we need VAR.
No, you need VAR. Like there was you'll know the point in the game when that. I can't remember the boy's name. It's a dual wielding name. Him and Bassey were wrestling on the side of the park, basically chasing the ball, and he just whipped him round. Just fucking grabbed his shirt and gave him a big toe and threw him to the ground. And it's like, and I don't know if you've ever seen it. It was fair game because the two of them were wrestling, but Bassey never did that to him. And then later on in the game, I don't know who it was. Fucking hell, I just started barking my shit myself.
Exclusive.
I think it was I don't know if it was Jack or Sands or something. There was nothing in the challenge, and he immediately. It wasn't even a hesitation. Just pulled the yellow.
Man, I
I just pulled the yellow, and it's like, what? Why is that a yellow? But that's no, like, where does there's no consistency with the way they show cards in the game, and but I mean, do the cards roll over in cup games? Do they?
Well, no, for Willie Collum in the Motherwell game, we were talking. Did you see that? 50
No,
seconds.
I seen that. Was that McGarry sent off in like 20 seconds or something?
50 odds or something like that. Mental, man.
See, in all fairness, as I says to you earlier, John, the boys went in studs up with 2 feet.
It was reckless. It was really reckless because we were saying it was kind of similar to Porteous challenge in Aribo like early on the season. So, but it's just mental, man. Like, not even a minute in the game, just send it off, man. Mental.
Smash them. I mean, it's teeing up to be. I mean, the Celtic game have kicked off now, isn't it?
What's the score actually?
When I checked it, they were winning 1-0.
You've got.
Oh, they're winning.
Nah, they were winning 1-0 when I seen it.
Celtics in the next round then.
two Edinburgh sides and potentially 2 Glasgow sides again. You want to know if I'm in the final. If I want, I pick the side that I want. Probably Hearts. But then again,
Fraser's
on. Yeah,
Fraser just made a wee face there because we were talking about that earlier, and Fraser says he'd rather an easy game in the semi-final just to get to the final.
No, it's not so much I want an easy game in the semi-final. Like, in all fairness, I would rather they got knocked out the night and then we just weren't in the competition. Because like, I look at the boys at my work and that, we're all talking about it, and they're going, would you know rather it was an Old Firm in the final? And I went, no, because I would rather have the easiest game possible.
I get that, but beating them to win it and lift it in front of them, man.
It sounds great and all that and lift it in front of them, but you go into that game and maybe say you were to pull Hearts or something, right? Again, it's still not an easy game, but you still see it as an easier game than playing Celtic.
I get your point, but I don't know. It's just I'm not that bothered whoever we get. I just want us to win the thing, to be honest.
I we're good enough to win it no matter who we get.
It's silverware. Something we are seriously lacking is silverware. Me and my dad were talking about it. He went, see, even if Rangers didn't win the league, they probably won a cup. It's very rare Rangers won 0 in a season. And so, okay, we're 3 points behind Celtic, and Celtic, I think they've kind of climaxed at the Old Firm. I don't think they've looked as good since. They've got the results they needed to win, though. That's the difference. That's it. They're still winning, and we're drafting points with fucking stupid draws like Ross County, Aberdeen, Motherwell, and all. My God, I mean, I was at that.
So were we, mate?
That was
it's a spectacular way to just chuck it away. I mean, we could have been up like 10-0 in the first half.
I know. But you know, it's mental.
That's an exaggeration.
Those games, the Dundee United game, that played brilliant, couldn't they get it done? The St Johnstone Aberdeen game played shite one, so it's like, do you want to win? Would you rather win ugly or lose?
I'd rather win ugly. I mean, we went for a spell of that last season, even though we had an invincible season. We had our moments, 2 seconds, and it's.
Could you pop some champagne there?
Pop man for the invincible season.
It's. I could let us off the hook if we were still nicking games, but we're lazy at the back and fucking conceding when we shouldn't be. Somebody talked about it in the score. It's no scoreboard. What the fuck's that called? No, the phone in.
Football
phone in. The phone in. Somebody said last season it didn't really matter that the defence wasn't amazing. Just Alan McGregor was bailing us out. Alan McGregor was arguably the greatest player last season.
Well, he got one of the player of the year, so
aye. Whereas this season, our defence is still shaky-ish, and he's not on it, so it makes him look bad. But actually, he was the one bailing us out. At points.
Both sides, I think.
I seen a stat a couple of weeks ago, and it was talking about the likes of McGregor's performance last year compared to this season, and it was something like he had last year. His save like the shot percentage was like 70. So I think it was something like 78% or something like that. Whereas compared to this season, he's down to like 60. I think it's 65 or something like that. So he's dropped 13% on his save to shot ratio, and folk were going, "Is that good enough?" You know what I mean? As much as it's like saying aye, but he's still making these great saves in games and everything like that. But is it good enough to be dropping 13%?
I think at the same time, I think it's the defence have let people get free shots away in that, and it's like there's no a lot. You can't save every shot if he's exposed, so it's like it's one of those things. It's like you can blame him, but you can also blame the defence. It's like a double-edged sword kind of thing.
You can't point the finger at just him. I mean,
No.
at the end of the day, he's the last guy.
Nah, he's your last
Not-
bitch, you know.
Not waiting at guys in front of you.
The ball shouldn't really get to him in the point.
I mean, he's 40 all day, so it's like you can't expect him to.
Still a cat in goals, man.
Keepers can get away with it. Keepers can get away with it, though, obviously, because they're no marching about the park for 90 minutes every other day. But I mean, fucking that. But at this point, we're at a weird crossroads moment, because Goulson as a player, it's weird. I don't want to lose him, but it's like it's not the worst if it goes, and it's. I don't know how do you feel about Goulson leaving and getting another centre half in to replace him?
Honestly,
And how would you?
I wouldn't be that bothered by it. You know,
Goulson gone. I'm kind of the
some
same.
of his performances this year, I wouldn't be that bothered by it, because for me, Ross County, he caused one of the goals. He can't play with his left foot. He's got no left foot.
No.
One of the Jude Bellingham's goal at Ibrox. He didn't clear it with his left.
He's got no left foot on him. Like for being a professional football player in this day and age, you're not asking him to be silky with it. Just put the ball up the park.
That's it.
See,
get the ball away.
I'm kind of in two minds about Goulson, because I always try to defend him, because say what you want. Everyone makes mistakes and that, but I just think it's because obviously he's like he does make, like, when he does make a mistake, unfortunately it's like a drastic one, like he doesn't get away with it. But see, as a Goulson, people like I don't know, it's a big thing for me, but I think his best asset is how consistent he's been able to play for us. Like he's only missed one game because of COVID in like 2-3 seasons. That's mental when you think about it. Like
I don't
the thing is as well,
35 plus games.
He's been in the team all that time, but there has been a few occasions where he probably should have been dropped.
But see, the thing is, it's like, mind the amount of centre backs we've paired him with. I think that unsettles him a wee bit, because he's like, he doesn't know if he can rely on to hold the line and that and stuff, and he's thinking about stuff. Like, I think, see, when it was him and Helander last season, and they played so many consistent games together. Like, I think that, like, see, Phil getting injured, and then Balogun getting injured, and he's pretty much been having to coach Bassey. I mean, I thought Bassey's done an alright job at centre back, but obviously stay at left back, please. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I think Goulson's had to take a lot of responsibility, pretty much teaching Bassey how to hold his line and that, pretty much. So maybe I don't know. That's my take on it.
Bassey's shaped up to be a real star man in their team, and it's weird because Bassey was arguably one of the best left backs.
I don't know. Fucking hell. What's happened to him, man?
To be honest,
one of the best left backs. No, it was the best left back in the league, and one of the best probably in Europe.
It was Croatia's number one left back.
I'll let people contest it, but it was up there. It was solid, and then it's like that was his limit, and he's just fell off the wagon.
Was it even the Celtic game? I thought you could see it was coming.
You could see before that he dropped off.
That Celtic game, he was the cause of 2 of the 3 of the goals, and that third one, like, it was so obvious they were playing up the wing. It was obvious they were doing it for the start, and he just didn't. All you had to do was look over your shoulder to see
schoolboy stuff.
What's that boy's name? Giacomakis, just flying in.
No,
all you had to do was look at your shoulder.
Alibaba that came out of the back post.
Alibaba.
Oh, was it Abada?
Well, it's
that old firm. Granted, a couple slip with it. slip-ups. I think, in fact, it's only one that they've drawn since then. Was that the Motherwell game that they drew since then?
They drew against Hibs. They drew against Hibs.
We've started to pick it up again, and I think a few home crews had to be told. And our run in Europe's been great. I think our style is far more suited to Europe, where teams open up. It allows us to play. It's hard to play again. We should be breaking down teams. We should be able to break down these teams, but the truth is, it's hard to break down these teams. We don't make it any easier than fucking hitting it through outside the box. I mean, I think because we want to walk in. I don't know why we do that.
One of your biggest misses, I think, for the turn is Hadji. You know what I mean? Because he's the kind of man that when he's in that team and you're playing against with 10 men around the edge of the box, he'll either hit it or he finds that wee pocket of space in between the midfield and defence, or just in behind the defence, to get either a ball across or get a shot away, which can create that goal. And without him on the side, you've missed that.
It's different type of player we've missed in there.
I feel like it's hard to judge missing him, considering how good our midfield looks when it's Lundstrom, Jack, Nadibo.
I feel like that's a hard I liked Kamara.
For me, Kamara had a good midfield.
I think
that's getting clipped, mate.
I think our biggest assets, and you notice them when they're not there, is Morelos and Ryan Jack, and even John Strom. Even I think there's moments in a game where you're like that needed them, and I think it kind of happened. People realised, and from when they brought Ryan Jack on, it changed a wee bit. But it's hard to tell because
got a grip of the game.
You could see how much he missed Morelos in that game too. Every time the ball went forward, Roof's a great player, but he's an in the box player.
He's a poaching bastard. He's good at being a poaching bastard. But look at that goal against Aberdeen. I mean, people booed that decision. Morelos wasn't having a good game against Aberdeen.
That they didn't take off Aribo. I saw people they wouldn't have minded Roof coming on, but if they kept Morelos on. But
I think that was the reason that a lot of people were booing, was the fact that he was taking Morelos off. But Morelos wasn't getting the service.
No,
you know what I mean, he wasn't getting the chances. So why not switch it up and bring a different striker on?
That's it. And he's a guy, like I say, he's just a complete poacher. I mean, he can also ping a shot. Benfica.
We've seen that.
But when he scored that goal, I was like, saying to the fucking booed that man, get up, B. Because how's he just going to boo a guy switching it up and then look, he scores?
Some of our support man are just fucking
every single one of them that booed that had to eat their words when they were fucking slating you for bringing him on.
Roof is a quality player, and I feel bad for him that he's came into a team where it's quite competitive up front. Because he's good enough to start in any side, I think. But
at the same time, it's probably helping.
It's also a fortunate thing. It's also a fortunate thing for us because I mean, who's our striker options? Fucking, you've got Morelos, Roof.
Sakala's better on the wing. I'd say
he's more a kind of winger now.
Itten can't even get a game for the B team, man. He's getting subbed off.
See, the thing was, right? See, when he came in last year, he was scoring goals. He was a
Smotherville.
He was a super sub realistically, you know.
He done a job last year in the games he got. He was holding up the ball and that, but just Gio brought him back, gave him a chance, and he just.
He's not taking the chance that he was given, like.
But you've been on this call for 32 minutes. I didn't realise it was that long.
How long have I done it to get, man?
I'm sitting here absolutely.
I don't even know how much time we've got left in this wee studio, but we'll probably wrap up soon. But
we've got a good chance. I mean, it's only 3 points, and we've got a chance at silver. We've got a real chance to go as far as we can in Europe. There's still plenty of time left. I'm not sweating. I mean, the title race is firmly on.
It's still in our hands, man. It's still in our hands.
Helicopter Sunday's back again, boys.
we just keep the head and let's not go for another Helicopter Sunday celebratory moment, man. That's only. I mean, I don't think my heart could handle that. But
I said it to you, John. I would take a 1-0 win for now at the end of the season in every single game.
8 more 1-0 wins, man. 8.
I mean, they could be the scrappiest games.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter as long as you win. It doesn't matter as long as you win.
Especially at this point. All it matters is 3 points. Because I don't think we'll beat a goal difference. I don't think we'll catch up with them goal difference.
I don't imagine they'll score too many.
Unless we pump them and play them, you never know. Because we might turn up at those games.
The only thing that worries me is the split, because most of the games could be away.
I mean, I think you're due to play nearly every one of them away.
I think we'll maybe get one home game.
It's probably about one, and the rest are all fucking away. So we'll have an uphill climb, but
you're never going to get Celtic at Ibrox 3 times.
I know. It's always they always do that anyway. It's always 2 games at Ibrox, 2 games at Parkhead.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, you realistically you're looking at. You know you're going to play Celtic away again. So then it's out of the other ones who they're going to give you
tough
for
games
a third
away
time.
From what it's looking like. So
I mean, you could end up having to go to Tynecastle for a third time.
Tannadice, Fir Park.
It's tough places to go to get a result like.
Spaghetti Head. So.
It is. Right, boys, I will love you and I will leave you. All right. I'll be there in the flesh next time.
We've
got a casting couch here for you and everything, lad.
Mate, wait till you see it when I've uploaded it, man. It's some setup, man.
I'm telling you the new list. Whatever you do, get somebody else to bring you, man, because we've got a bloody beer machine here and everything. I made the wrong choice in being the driver the night because they've actually got a pint machine here.
They're free as well, man. So they've got a PS5 in here and all, man. It's some setup.
Well, hopefully I'll be there next time. I will be there next time, alright?
Too right, mate.
Too right. Well, right. Enjoy your night, Chief.
Take care. Okay, 35 minutes. I didn't realise we were on the phone for that amount of time. Like, sorry, Adam, but I don't think we've got time to get you because I don't think we can get.
In all fairness, he's probably sitting watching the Celtic game anyway.
I don't even think about that.
You probably wouldn't catch him.
He'll be wanting his dinner on that, but
I'm wanting my fucking dinner.
I had some macaroni before I came, but
I'm starving here, man.
But I don't even know what minute we're on, man. That was just.
I mean, we started maybe like back 8 or something, I don't know. So.
Back at 7.
Back at 7. It started at back 8. We only started 10 minutes ago.
Because we were setting up in that, so. We kind of covered quite a lot. I was going to maybe touch on the Premier League games, but.
To be honest, the Premier League wasn't that exciting this weekend.
If Duncan was here, maybe.
If Duncan was here, he knows everything about the Premier League.
Shocking takes, man.
I seen the only thing I seen about the Premier League this weekend was the Ukrainian boy for West Ham scored. He got in the score sheet. I seen that.
Big emotional celebration.
Seen he started greeting in that celebration.
Gerrard's team.
That's another thing. I've seen a lot of Aston Villa fans unhappy with Gerrard these days. The fact that he's only won something like 2 games out of 9, they're saying, you know, this is the best side Aston Villa's had in years. You know, realistically, you look at that.
Like the players and
with the players that they've got. You look at the players they've got. You've got Coutinho, who was a Champions League winner a couple of seasons ago with Bayern Munich.
He's been playing good for them as well.
You know what I mean? You've got Tyrone Mings, who's supposedly one of England's best centre. One of England's best centre halves. For me, that's the wrong option.
That Martinez in goals, he's a good keeper.
I mean, Martinez won the Copa America with Argentina this year.
Won the FA Cup with Arsenal.
You know what I mean? I couldn't believe Arsenal settled him. You know, for me, he's a better keeper than Bert Leno.
But that Ramsdale's good for Arsenal.
Ramsdale's definitely came in and done a job for them.
But anyway, we'll just like the Premier League games, because I don't know much. But Scottish Cup, saying we're going to win it this year. We're going to win it.
We're definitely going to win it, Chief.
Well, you said we'll get through. Well, is it last week in the league? You said you said Celtic. You were going to win it. It's not very staunch.
I know, man, but I'm looking at the league thinking, like, goal difference wise, they're miles ahead.
That's at least a point.
With the run in the games, you know, after the split, it's going to be tough for us.
But I think
you know what I mean.
I think the Europe games, I think that will actually help us in the league.
Before all that happened, you know, before, like, say, you know, the second game with Dortmund and then fucking like beating Red Star and everything, I would have said Celtic. But I think momentum's kind of starting to sway back our way. We're starting to find our form again.
Even the game yesterday, like, I know it's not the league, but it's still domestic, and it's obviously Dundee are.
You play them again this weekend. I know. I mean, that was a big booster for you.
It's like a training match, pretty much, to set us up. We know what to do it. We'll probably.
You'll have different players in the team. I don't imagine you'll not have the same.
To be honest, you could probably just keep that team.
You could, but the league games are too important.
I hope Ramsey starts. To be fair, I hope he just starts getting played because I don't see why not. Like, especially against Dundee, like I think it was brilliant.
You've brought him in. You've spent all that money. Why not play him?
And he looks.
I mean, if he's fit,
he didn't look a foot wrong.
If he's fit and he's sharp, play him.
We Alex Lowry as well. Lowry lad. No, we're not starting that.
Oh, bad days is coming. Oh no. We've hit that point in the night, lad.
Oh man. I think we'll win it. I still think we'll win the league and Europa League. You never know. I don't know if that's maybe somebody come kick us out. But
that's how boys.
Aye.
Time's
so
up,
that was episode 2. That was brilliant, man.
I know. It's been good to get a wee set up here. You know, like actually having the proper mics and that.
The G4 Claim Studio. I know.
Definitely.
Check them out, lads.
Check them out if you're thinking about getting yourself a podcast in Scotland.
Oh, and also, I don't even know if we're sponsored by them, but I'm just going to say, also, if you want a claim, them to deal with your claims, have you heard their wee tune?
Nah.
It's like, what is it? Let's go do 100% of your claims. G4 claim.
Joro, you're on the track next time. They're signing you up.
I mean, I hopefully I get paid for it. But right, we're gonna, mate. We need to stop because we will talk shite.
We'll call it there, lad. We'll call it there.
So look at that nice wee upgrade. 2 episodes in from a shitey Zoom call to top state of the art studio, man.
Casting couch in the background. Right. You know what's coming next week.
All right, okay. That's enough for me.
Time out.